I'm Max Garcia. I'm 18 years old, and after over a year in this cruel pandemic, I finally caught the virus. I need that penicillin for the COVID-19 that's inside me. Just kidding. But doctors actually give penicillin to COVID-19 patients. It's so sad. That's going to contribute to the super bacterial infection in like 2056. So we don't have to worry about that right now. I probably caught the virus at the worst time since I was about to get my vaccine the week the Johnson & Johnson vaccine got put on pause because of all the blood clots, the 1 in 7 million chance. So I haven't gotten my vaccine yet. I'll get it once all my symptoms reside and they're fully eradicated from my body. But my symptoms really started on like Friday, and they kind of like slowly been going away yesterday and today. All I really had was like a sore throat, chills in my body. My body just felt tired and weak. I hate that feeling when you get sick. But when I had the flu back in December 2019, I definitely felt worse then. And this might be my second time having COVID because back in January of 2021, I had a negative rapid and a positive PCR, and I had zero symptoms at all. But my mom had COVID, and she actually went through it pretty bad. So let's get to the story why my In the Heights show has now been postponed with a risk of full cancellation. So my first ever thespian show was supposed to be this upcoming Friday and Saturday, but it's been moved because a lot of the cast has COVID. So there's been a COVID outbreak among the cast, and I have practiced for my role of Graffiti Pete from Monday through Thursday. And last week I didn't even go to school Friday. I just had 2 study sessions on Thursday and Friday for calculus at Panera. So I don't really know exactly where I caught the COVID virus or when, what day. I wish like I could have like a pair of AI goggles that could just track the COVID particles in there. That would be super cool. But I don't think I caught it from when I was inside Panera. So at one of those rehearsals, I caught the virus. And we don't have masks on when we're like performing, but whenever we're not performing, like we're waiting on the wings, we put on our masks. So that was the situation there, and it's just ironic because we've had 4 months of rehearsals, no one got COVID, and then boom, we're slapped in the face with 5 different cases of COVID. I'm one of them. Everyone's pretty much had either no symptoms or very mild to moderate symptoms like me. No one's outrageous and hooked up to a ventilator. But as of right now, we still don't know if we're actually going to perform in the Heights. So maybe the In the Heights movie is all I'm looking forward to that's involved with the Lin-Manuel Miranda universe. The pandemic started at around mid of March of 2020, and a lot has changed since then. I had to go through, 6 months of mandatory virtual learning as a senior in high school on Zoom. Zoom, it existed before the pandemic, but it was barely used. And then as soon as the pandemic hit, skyrocketed, just like the amount of Peloton users, because with gyms like Planet Fitness and others closed down, people just turned to in-home fitness, and Peloton, Spotify and Netflix and Disney Plus, their host subscribers skyrocketed. We were stuck at home for a good 1 month with all you could do is go to the grocery store and fast food. And the funniest part about the pandemic is that it's so attached to masks, but in the first 2 to 3 weeks of the pandemic, no one was wearing masks. Like March 27th, I was still going grocery shopping at Publix, and I wasn't wearing a mask. 6 feet was mandated, but masks weren't really enforced. And as soon as the pandemic hit, sports was completely poof in the air because if people are all worried for their own personal lives, is anyone going to watch entertainment like sports where those athletes are endangering their lives? So the NBA came back with the bubble, and the NFL came back with limited capacity fans in the stands, but sports just isn't the same without the 100% capacity, those crazy sellout games, those whiteout crowds in college football. Sports without the fans, like those stacked crowds, just like, man, the casual movie theater experience where you go to see 5 movies in one day, that just wasn't happening because movies weren't going out to theaters like AMC and CoViD. I've only been to the movie theaters literally one time since the beginning of the pandemic, and that was when Tenet released in September. And Tenet was kind of a bust of a movie because it was supposed to be the movie to start the ongoing trend of people going back to the movie theaters, but it hasn't. Movies that are released by Warner Bros. Get uploaded to HBO Max and the movie theaters the same day, and you can watch it for free on HBO Max. Mortal Kombat, Godzilla vs. King Kong, In the Heights, they're all free on there. Raya and the Last Dragon, albeit for $30 on Disney Plus, is also shown in the movie theaters. So a lot of people are just watching movies from home, and that has kind of led to a change in the movie-going experience. With the pandemic, it seems like every fast food or restaurant has made a thing called curbside pickup. That's where you just drive to a parking lot and you get the food brought out to you. Delivery has gone way up. Gas prices were so low at the beginning of the pandemic. I wish I was older, like 25 and 30. I mean, I don't really want to worry about my expenses at that point, but just, this cheap gas. Wait, why am I even talking about gas? I'm going to have an electric car while I'm 25 or 30. And we can't forget those stimulus bills that so many people laughed at Andrew Yang for the idea, yet when those 3 different checks of like $1,000 came into people's accounts, I guess they weren't complaining, even though inflation is going up a bit. Overall, talking about how deadly the COVID-19 virus is, it's killed over 500,000 Americans alone just in this country of 300 million people, roughly. That doesn't even include the whole world of 7 billion. So a lot of people have died from the virus, way more than the flu, even though the flu affected me more. It just depends on the person. Some are asymptomatic and some pass away in a matter of weeks. Just like that virus, it's kind of mysterious at times. Yet, vaccines are rolling out. We have 2 mRNA vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna. Then there's another type, like an adenovirus type with Johnson & Johnson and the AstraZeneca. Those have like a fake virus with DNA inside it, while the mRNA is just the mRNA, which allows your body to replicate the proteins that create the antibodies. So to conclude, pandemics suck, and when you take students online virtually, they are going to cheat out on all of the assignments. Just look at check stock.